Sam here. What a Super Bowl we just watched. Congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles. They win 41-33. Nick Foles got his ultimate redemption after being kicked to the curb by Chip Kelly a few years ago with Philadelphia. He is the Super Bowl MVP. 500 yards from Brady, 3 touchdowns. It was a kind of a shocking game as far as the score is concerned. I thought it would be more defensive oriented, but the Eagles defense made the big play when it mattered. They got to Tom Brady. They forced a fumble. They ultimately sealed the game. The Eagles' big receivers, Alshon Jeffrey, Torrey Smith, made big plays. Nick Foles was incredible. This was a great game. And I think moving forward for the Eagles are going to get Carson Wentz back. This sets them up for a huge dynasty. If you ask me, they're set up for the next 10 years with a quarterback. Peterson's a great coach. They're going to have a defense. They're going to still have that offense and that run game. But man, this year, and they were the underdog. They were the 5-point underdog. Philadelphia broke the drought, won their first Super Bowl. Congratulations. Moving forward, Tom Brady will be 41 next year. Patriots have a whole new coaching staff. Matt Patricia is expected to go to the Lions. Josh McDaniels is expected to be the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. Like I said, Brady's 41. They don't have an answer at backup at the backup quarterback position, New England, and they're really small on the outside. This was a game that you saw with the Eagles' big receivers. I mentioned Alshon Jeffrey and Torrey Smith. They were big, literally. I mean, Nick Foles would throw the jump ball, and both of those guys were able to go get it. And that's really what the NFL is now. It's not about speed. Speed is nice to have as a complement to a big receiver. Like, I'm going to use DeAndre Hopkins as an example. You see it with Will Fuller in Houston. He's a great complementary piece, but he's not a number one receiver. Hopkins is because he's a jump ball receiver, and that's where I think the NFL is going as far as the receiver position. Speed is important because you obviously want to be able to get in the open field and get touchdowns, but you want that ability in the red zone when the field is tight to be able to throw a jump ball, and really outside of Gronkowski, the Patriots don't have that guy. They have a lot of fast guys, a lot of athletic guys. They did lose Brandon Cooks to a head injury early in the game, and so it's just, to me, and it was unfortunate, being the Super Bowl, but at the end of the day, the Eagles made the plays when it mattered most, and, Philly's going crazy right now, and they should be. This is the first championship they've had as a franchise in forever, and the first Super Bowl in the history of the franchise. They won NFL championships a long time ago before the Super Bowl era began. Peterson, like I said, they're set up for years. The Patriots really aren't, and that's the problem now. Is where does Belichick go from here? Brady's going to be 41 next year. Does Tom have another year in him? He's 1-3 against the NFC East in the Super Bowl. Brady did beat Philly back in 2004 when Andy Reid and Donovan McNabb was there, but those guys are long gone. Different team, different era of football. Essentially, the game has changed a lot. I would like to see the catch rule is becoming, to be, the biggest migraine. They need to simplify it. They need to make changes to it, because again, you saw a couple of catches that I thought they were close, especially the Zach Ertz touchdown. That was close. Everybody says, well, by rule, that was a touchdown, but you remember the Jesse James play early in the season, the Steelers and the Patriots with the number one seed on the line. That obviously it's not exactly the same play, but the NFL does not understand the difference, does not understand the process of catch, and they don't. And it's not consistent either. Like, one week you see a play like what we saw tonight with the Ertz play, that's called a catch, but then the next week it's not, and it's just. They need consistency. They need to iron out the rule. They need to iron out the details and make it simpler, make it easier to understand, and make it just really, it's too complicated. And tonight it was a bit of a migraine. I was like, okay, there's a couple plays, early in the game, the Coleman catch where he juggled the ball, but he maintained possession of the ball. I thought that was a catch, and it was upheld. But again, Al Michael said in the broadcast it wasn't a catch. That's the thing, is the catch rule has really made it what is a catch and what isn't a catch. So the NFL's got some adjustments to make. The Patriots have some adjustments to make, especially the coaching staff. We'll see what happens as far as their coaching is going. But Brady's going to be 41 next year. And to me, I know he's at the top of his game, but at some point, he's going to hit that wall. Father Time is undefeated. And like I said, they don't have an answer at backup quarterback. They let go of Jacoby Brissett. They let go of Jimmy Garoppolo. They're stuck with Brian Hoyer. And maybe they go out, maybe they try and get Garoppolo back. Garoppolo's a free agent. And then, of course, Case Keenum is a free agent. Nick Foles is due to make a huge payday. He's a free agent. I think the Eagles will try and keep him because I think, again, he really showed the true value of having a competent, very good backup quarterback because they didn't miss a beat when Carson Wentz got hurt. Carson Wentz was the MVP, in my opinion, before he got injured. It's unfortunate. But like I said, they were fine. They were fine without him because Nick Foles had been with Philadelphia. And this is what makes Peterson a great coach. He looked at what made Foles successful the first time around in Philly, and he designed an offensive scheme with his offensive coordinator to fit Foles' skill set, and it really helped them. And that's really what. And he got hot. He got into a good rhythm in the playoffs, and in the end, they won the Super Bowl. So the Astros won their first ever World Series. The Eagles won the first ever Super Bowl. Who's going to be the NBA team that breaks their trend and wins their first NBA championship? It's kind of a year for firsts. But back to the Eagles for a second. That defense is going to be nasty. It's still going to be there next year. Still got the run game. To me, as long as they avoid injuries, keep building their team and keep adding to their receiving core, adding to their offensive line. Again, coordinators become head coaches. We'll see what changes are on the horizon. But as far as what's next with both teams, I think the Eagles are set for at least another 3 or 4 years. Quite possibly, very likely, the next decade. I think they could be the next New England dynasty, or New England-like dynasty, where they rip off 5 or 6 titles, or 5 or 6 Super Bowls, and they get there and maybe win 2 or 3 more. But again, that's to be determined. New England, how much longer do they have as a dynasty? How much longer is Belichick going to coach? And how much longer is Brady going to play? He did have a great game. He had 500 yards, 3 touchdowns, key turnover at the end of the game. So, it just remains to be seen. Their defense was an absolute mess. They couldn't get the stops when it mattered. They gave up 41 points. It could have been more. So, they gave up 42 to start the season, and they gave up 41, the Patriots defense, to the Chiefs in week 1, and 41 in the Super Bowl to the Eagles. So, Matt Patricia is going to be leaving. He's going to go to the Lions in the next couple of days. And Josh McDaniels is heading to Indianapolis. That leaves offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator openings with the Patriots, as well as they need a backup quarterback to groom for the future. We'll see what happens. 41-33, Nick Foles, great redemption season. Nick Foles is a free agent quarterback. Free agency's coming up. So is the draft. A lot happening in the NFL. So we'll see what happens. But congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles, and congratulations to Nick Foles winning your Super Bowl MVP. I'm really glad, from a fan's standpoint, to see him get that redemption. That was awesome. That was a great way to rub it in to Chip Kelly, who dumped him for Mark Sanchez. That was, to me, that's as bad. It's not on Eli Manning for Geno Smith bad, but it's bad. Okay, Mark Sanchez is horrible. And Nick Foles was very good with Chip Kelly as the head coach of the Eagles. But that's water under the bridge now. He's a Super Bowl champion and a Super Bowl MVP. This has been Sam Darley. Thank you for watching.